Oobleck is a non-Newtonian fluid, which means that when it is at rest, it behaves as a liquid, but the second that there's pressure exerted on it, whenever you touch it, when you push it, when you pull it, it acts like a solid, which is really cool, and we're going to see some of that close up today. I've already got some cornstarch in one of the bowls, and what you're going to want is between 1.5 to 2 cups of cornstarch and about 1 cup of water. And you're just going to start by adding some water to some of it and mixing it. This is not my favorite part, but you do have to touch it. I'm not a huge fan, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to keep one hand relatively clean so that I can grab things as we go. So if you look at it close up on the camera, you'll see that it's still pretty watery. So I'm going to add some more of our cornstarch here. Keep mixing that. And I'm going to add a little bit more water. The trick is to get this mixed really, really well. Cornstarch is really, really fine, and it's going to stick to you, but once it's mixed in, it's going to work really, really well. Another fun thing that you can do is you can add some food coloring to this, which I may do here in a second after I get this a little bit more mixed up. But all right, that is still pretty watery, so I'm going to just add some. I'm not going to measure it at this point. It's kind of, you're going by feel. You should be able to pick part of it up and not have it run through your fingers exactly. All right, bits and pieces of this are starting to feel like what they're supposed to feel like. I'm going to keep mixing it, keep adding a little bit as we go. One of the nice things about Oobleck is it does wash off your hands pretty well. I just took a second to do that and put some more in a measuring cup, so it's going to be a little bit easier. While I have clean hands, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of food coloring, and I'm a blue fan. It happens to be my favorite color, so I'm going to go ahead and put just a couple drops, more than a couple of drops of blue food coloring in there, and I'm going to use this measuring spoon to mix that up just a little bit. It's looking pretty great. Still very liquidy though, so we're going to add a little bit more cornstarch and see what happens. Woo! That's a little bit more than a little bit, but that's all right. Keep stirring that. I'm going to use the spoon for a little bit. And we're getting some nice spots here. Gonna have to go back in. All right, there's a good chunk of it. Here we go. So if I pick this up in my hand and squeeze it, it's almost solid, but then it starts to fall out of my hands the second I release pressure on it. All right. Mine's a nice light blue here. As you can see, my hands are real messy, but that happens. Squeeze it, and it gets hard again. It's pretty cool. It's something to play with.